is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. It's Charles Davis, as always. I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. Fielded about a yard deep. He's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5 quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator would say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And this whole line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. Now they try the right side here. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Play action, they'll throw. They work it across midfield. Goes for 24 yards.
They came together there in breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Go now. 70, Indy. And again this time to the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? The 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourself. Let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. There's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That's how you put field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get down inside the 15, inside the 5. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
They'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a 1st down.
He does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the previous play, a big help, is now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. They'll try and run it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He gets away from 1. They'll roll him out right. He's going to use his legs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. Charles, in the past, a lot of people call this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you get some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. I'll give him 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Get this time to the tailback. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Second down play, that's a -4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beat. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're embarrassed.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down.
We talk about players blitzing all the time. Sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. Running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a man who punted for the Braves in 2015, Andy Leon, to kick it away. As he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. Guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
60 Pittsburgh. Check 13. Check 13.
The play fake. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. Breaks the tackle. Past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He'll give it here to his running back. Maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now some movement before the snap.
Awesome.
And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Look to throw. That is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They begin things in much better field position than their opening drive as they come up 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now head off here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers plant their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline as a play caller. You're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action or stick something to it between the second and the third level.
Shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here. He keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see. Feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've had it twice, they punted twice, not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And Slither by. No gain on the dump off at 2nd down.
Simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
When he get it to him, he could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. The defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. To throw. He can run for it. And the ball comes out, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and the teams knew it as well, and maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. Now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, we're dry. Now you got to make the change up. And it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10, right at the 20. It's intercepted. It's off at the 19. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They were with 5 DBs.
It's becoming the base package in the NFL. Is the nickel hard to throw against? That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Huston Seibert on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward. Here, and it's good. Play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. A nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And following the pick six, decent field position and throwing the pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, they told us, they have confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Defenders stay home and they'll stop him behind the line. So a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. And we see that play. I like their style.
3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Back and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
We see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that is incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
You know, the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough. Just a couple of drives so far. But if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Coach is always reading the defense and getting it to the open man. Recognition there. How about what he did after the catch?
Tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Oh! Thank you, David. Second and 11. That'll be incomplete. Pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Jamie Gila now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. After the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, he'll step aside and be right back. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track.
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on the short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. Throw led him a little too far, brings up 3rd down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receiver work on a little bit more.
Now, this and throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. Way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to dump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 36-yard line, taken down after getting 8 yards. That looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder, create or get through contact or trash, it's a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And then we're on it here. Nice job here just to find his way back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence. When in doubt, find your veterans.
Used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he rifles one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, you need to put some heat on it. It helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to take off with it. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Play action fake. They'll look to throw. Here at the Cardinals 33. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, down at the 33. And give this time to the tailback. Just a yard and a pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it on the toss. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a game of 2. The Browns are going to get a 1st down.
Getting ready to go to work now. Prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot. Picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And it'll be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
You know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw here. Touchdown. 23 yards from the touchdown. The Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. It's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. When all else fails, not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Play here for a touchdown. Cybered on for the BAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Cyber now to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they'll give it here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and throwing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Side here, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
They obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and it curls back inside for the completion.
This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. He's going to keep it here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 in the first.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Incomplete. Physical play on the football there. It's 2nd down.
Time work on defense, too. Defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
A line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
That's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow his offensive lineman to get up to the second level.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Try and run for it. They will take over at the 29-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here, secured by his running back out of the backfield. He'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Here, that's complete. Able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out. They ended up with an interception in that game at Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure out the passer.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll run it. Here at the Cardinals' 38-yard line.
Matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork of both of these guys running the ball well?
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The second of their timeouts. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. First down pickup of 8.
One of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, who can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That can give me a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of control. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And hash mark of 42-yard attempt. Seibert able to knock this one through. Now 17. So Capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
To the main field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more the same. The rain set to continue as we're underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Throwing here, first down. Here, that's complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good edge scheme going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but closed there quickly at the end. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. To throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he didn't get his feet down, even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you, I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands.
He picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
You know what offensive lineman? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw. Round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is to be able to bounce back in the next one, because right now, this has not been his game.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great. That's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he's not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at the 15. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
There, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game decent, the kind of throws you got to hit is wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to them.
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth, barring a conversion here on third down. He's going to air it out. And that will be incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Trying to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of the best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Here's Andy Lee now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Only a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Browns will take over first and 10. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs. It just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
This time to the tailback. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Here we go on second and 12. And he's got his man on the end. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
The red man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and then get it done.
And this one's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Now, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw. He comes back with one complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got half of what they needed. Now here's a top 3rd and 5. That's the play. Tackles made here at the Cardinals 43. Defensively, they were in zone covers there. You have to be a little careful. You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone.
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So in the Cardinal territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. To his left. He's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds after taking a little further down inside the 40. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. And he will. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A good decision in the end. The pull and run gets him 9 yards and a first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get because, remember, he slides when that derriere dips, if you will. That play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Maybe a little over anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that front.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. He wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. All right side taken in by his tight end. That's a couple brings up 3rd down.
Okay, there they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. But they're going to rule him out of bounds. So the Complete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. It's hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some little chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Chestnuts?
You like that?
Well, what does it mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going why they said that. I have no idea.
To the main field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And on a bad return here, he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play. This passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And it's complete. He's ended after a game to the 27. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver. The coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Play there on second down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. But when people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Throw here. It's a short one here. To the timeout. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They didn't have that penalty a moment ago. It'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
Using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
That's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Run it now out of the gun. Down, and it's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Complete downfield on the left side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window, he fired a bullet in there for the completion. Left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
A first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a second and 7. He's going to take off with it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold it for a short gain when he took off running.
Now, out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A 3-yard loss. Down now. Trying to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though.
On fourth down, here's Zane Gonzalez for the Cardinal field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. With that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. As you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at a quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's got to lean on that guy right now.
At the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's second and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially going to be left with a third and 2.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
He'll give it here to his running back. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down to the 42. They needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
And when the defense just simply can't get off the field on third down. We all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a.
Ready? 8, read.
Now out of the gun. And they'll get him across midfield and down in the Cardinal territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll set up to throw. He may try and run for this. Getting this inside the 30. And they're going to have another first down as a tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 28. That is an absolute backbreaker. The design passing play wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
Really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off inside the 10. Game here in the fourth, and that kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And it's tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Complete. The arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. Now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. He couldn't hold on to the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Going to be incomplete.
I definitely say that that's what he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The Cardinals on third down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
Try it here. He's back to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. He backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Cardinals are able to convert there on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Now Cleveland geared up to take the field. There are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. Keep up with your theme there, playing keep away. First downs, they can't touch the ball.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. Out of the gun. I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up 2nd and 13. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now handoff here to his running back. Getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down and nickel formation here defensively. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help sweep this one along. And he's got this down to the 35. Fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looks like he'll throw here. Here, that's complete. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play. That play action up nicely.
Or did they ever? Because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top. Review the play. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. And to give this time to the Tampa. And obviously they want that run yardage, so they decline the penalty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Smart on their part. They finished off the play. But if you're going to jump, if you're going to commit a penalty, it's your job to finish off the play so you don't give up big gains like that.
Ready. Ready.
Out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Out of the gun. He's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got bottled up.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It's to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is absolutely perfect. That will make this now an 18-point ball game. So he remains perfect. 3 for 3 at the field goal department.
It's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is. And as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
To the main field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled, so they try to put together something here at the end just to take it to the next week.
Sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
It's something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's try.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.